Hello everyone, welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Recovery Creators. Today we have Mr. Chanchal Choudhary with us. Mr. Choudhary has been dealing with corporate and industrial law since 1990 and has held several important positions in the corporate world and industrial undertakings of national and international repute. Chanchal is a member of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa and is a regular practitioner before Bombay High Court. He has also been appearing regularly and arguing the matters before several tribunals, such as the National Company Law Tribunal, Securities Appellate Tribunal. He's empanelled as an advocate by several banks and finance companies of national and international presence. There's a lot to talk about, Mr. Choudhary, but without any further ado, let me introduce you to the man himself. Hello, Chanchal. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good, and I hope you too are doing good.
Likewise, thank you. Thank you for being here, and we're really excited to know about you and about your firm. So please throw light on your journey as a legal professional so far.
See, Bharti, I had started my legal journey way back in 1991. In fact, after doing my commerce and the law graduation from the University of Rajasthan. And I've been working for the corporate field the most of the time. It is only in 2015, by the time I had attained the senior most position in the corporate world. And then I realized, I have become a white elephant for the corporate world. So let me have my own practice. And in 2015, in fact, precisely about 6 to 7 years back, I enrolled myself with the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. Immediately upon registration with the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, again to refresh my law, that had studied at the time of doing my LLB and all kinds of things. I did my master's in law from Mumbai. And then I've also enrolled in 2016 for the PhD. My thesis has already been approved by the university. And I'm awaiting my PhD award or the doctorate award very soon from the university. This is how my journey is from the corporate world. Since I've been working most of the time in the corporate, it was easy for me to get the corporate clients. And that is the reason why I have chosen to practice more into the corporate side, banking side, financial side. That helps me because I was not very unknown to the corporate world. Most of the people can recognize my ex-colleagues. Those who have worked a very junior position now attained a vice president or the senior president's position in the corporate world. It was become quite easy to get the client to the corporate client. And that is the reason today, if you talk almost all large business houses, let it be the Tata, let it be Aditya Birla, let it be Reliance, let it be Adani, let it be ICICI, let it be Axis. Everybody is my clients, and we have been extending the great services to them and very satisfactory services to them with a large team that I manage under me, who are there to advise, consult, appear, and argue the matter on behalf of my corporate clients.
Thank you, Chanchal, for throwing light on your journey. So when you're discussing about that, can you please tell us an interesting or a complex issue that you must have worked on, and in fact, how did you approach it?
Yeah, there could be many, but one that I remember, one MSME, who had supplied material to one of the large PSUs, public sector undertaking, for the confidentiality, I'm not naming them. And they defaulted in making the payment to my clients, the MSME. As there is a provision under the law, under the MSME Act 2006, he approached to the MSME courts. I had represented them in the MSME court, who obtained an order against that large PSU, public sector undertaking, having a turnover more than 1 lakh crores, a kind of the organization. The amount that was overdue was merely about 2 crore rupees or so, because it was a small undertaking. But they denied to make the payment. As you know how the PSUs works under kind of the influences. Somewhat my clients were unable to oblige certain officers over there, so couldn't get the payment. Finally, we went to the Bombay High Court. Again, we got a favorable order. They moved to the Supreme Court. We fought the matter up to the Supreme Court to get 2 crore rupees. And finally, the Supreme Court ordered them to deposit 75% in the Supreme Court itself. And today, still the matter is still to be heard and argued and, they decided. But in the meantime, my client has already received 75%. It was a very tedious task for a small client to bear the cost of, the legality that one need to fight at the junior level court, then go to the High Court, then go to the Delhi High Court, then go to the Supreme Court. but I was fortunate enough to get a favorable order for my clients and add one of them as a satisfactory client in my client list. We have another matter in where a mother wanted to have the custody of the child, and there was a dispute between husband and wife. We got the matter first. We lost the matter in Thana court, Thana district court. Finally, went to the High Court. I filed an appeal over there against the order, challenging the order passed by the Thana district court. And finally, we got the order in our favor. Now the child has become 18 years. Mother is satisfied. Child is happy. And we could again add one of the clients as our satisfying client list. So there were many such matters, but these are the clients who were from a very downtrodden, a kind of the society. And you as an advocate able to help them out, it gives a lot of satisfaction. The corporate things keep coming and going. That the corporate, they can afford such kind of the legal expenses. But for the a poor mother who wanted to have the custody of the child, and fighting out all the time from X court to Y court and then up to the High Court. But God is great, and the finally court has given the verdict in favor of my client. And today, mother and son living together happily. These were the incidences that I can share out with you.
That's amazing. That's really inspiring as well. Thank you, Chanchal. Now, as the times are changing, how would you rate the current legal system drive towards encouraging the access to justice? Do you think that there is a tangible movement in closing that justice gap that there is?
See, I think all the time we talk about the legal justice or the legal system, but the system or the justice will come when the people start getting justice at their doorstep. Now today, imagine a situation for a city like Mumbai. The Supreme Court is there in Delhi. Sometimes happens, many times it has happened that I have gone over there for some or the other reason the matter is adjourned. Imagine the fate of a poor client who all the way engages, take us to Delhi, bear all the cost of traveling, the hotel and all that. And then thereafter he's required to come. Suppose the matter is kept on the Friday, and then he has to wait for 3 days, 5 days, Saturday, Sunday. He has to bear the Monday again. He never know whether the matter will come up, whether the matter will be heard, whether the matter will be decided. It becomes a very costly affair for them. Now, this kind of the technology that due to pandemic, the most of the court has started, it has really helped not only to cut the cost, but also the transparency will come in the matter. And I have been personally advocating all the time that, in fact, all the CCTVs, sometimes back, a couple of years back, about a decade back, the Supreme Court had given the order in one of the matters in the public interest litigation. And then thereafter, only the cameras were installed in the High Court, with Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Why these cameras should not be installed even before the courtrooms? Let that be in the complete public forum. Let everybody hear what his or her advocate is arguing the matter, what the judiciary is finally finding and passing an order. Why to have such kind of very, very closed doors, everything like that? So if we talk about the transparency in the political system, we equally need to have that kind of the transparency in the judicial system. Unless we bring that transparency, I think the confidence and the trust of the public would be very difficult to that's how the people keep talking behind the door about the judiciary. So there are the certain norms, and thereby the public are prevented from talking openly about the judiciary. But the fact is that we are giving the scope to talk about it. So we need to have that kind of a transparency, and the technology, unless we introduce, this technology helps even people like us during the pandemic, this lockdown. Most of the time, I have been spending my time at my farmhouse. I was not even sitting here in Mumbai. And from there, I was able to attend all the matters in the High Court and the Supreme Court. So why not that kind? Why that should be limited only for the pandemic situation? This should become a regular feature for all the High Court and the Supreme Court. Let's have the faceless. We talk about the faceless income tax departments. Why not to have the faceless, even the judicial for that matter? Let things be heard, decided in a full public gathering. Let everybody has the right to have the access of judiciary. That will cut the cost. Will cut the time, and the speedy delivery of the judgment to be possible. So I'm all for it, and it should not be limited only during the pandemic, but it should be extended for all the courts, and it should be available whole year. It should not be limited only for the pandemic period.
Also, before actually the pandemic started, it was kind of like very different. We did not know that if we'll be able to work from our homes, and if it will be ever
Yeah,
be
yeah.
possible, especially with the legal industry. Like, how would you take the hearing, and how is it going to happen?
I can see a lot of even call center guys, those who are working over here in Mumbai, they have moved to their native place. They are not required to pay 20-30% the rent, a kind of, they still remain with their family. They can't afford to bring the family to the city. Now they themselves have reached over there. From there, they are doing the work, and they are doing the work fantastically. By managing the home also, they continue to remain with the family. They are able to manage the work, and they are able to save a lot of money. So their purchasing capacity, their living standard, even with that amount of the money that they were getting over here. So it's a fantastic thing. Every bad thing bring also some good thing, and possibly this pandemic has brought a lot of fortune for such kind of the middle class executives, those who are working here in Mumbai and Delhi in 30, 40, 50,000 rupees, and were able to save none. Now with the 30, 40, 50,000 rupees, they are able to save every money for their family, and yet they are enjoying with the life of the family with the parents. How fortunate that parents may feel. His 28 year, 30-year guy who was sitting there in Delhi or the Mumbai, now sitting next door to him, helping them out even in their field work or in their cultivation or the farming, and yet earning such kind of the amount and contributing to the family. It has worked fantastic.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you on this.
I'm,
Thank
I'm
you.
just trying to give a very practical example
Absolutely.
because I've seen a couple of guys now they disappeared, they have closed, they have moved to their native place, and from there they are able to manage it. And I don't think even employer has a problem as long as the productivity comes, as long as the quality of work comes. Why the employer should have the problem? And employer in other way also says, so instead of hiring a 2 lakh square feet of the office premises, they are moving to 2,000 square feet of the office premises because everybody is working from home. So it works two way. I mean, a win-win situation where the employer and employee both are happy and satisfied.
Right.
So let's take the better part of this lockdown that people have learned, people have realized, yes, this system can also work, and it's working beautifully.
Including the electricity consumption and the transportation and
yes, and you were able to save a lot of foreign currency. It is not just electricity. Electricity, of course, is a very important thing. You are able to save foreign currency in terms of the saving the petrol and the diesel, the number of vehicles that you see, to save the environment. You see, the larger you are saving the environment because all this carbon dioxide that because of the consumption of the petrol and the diesel, you are able to save it. So you are living a better environment, you are saving the foreign currency, you are giving the more flexibility to your employees, their purchasing capacity is increasing, and therefore the country will grow. Country will grow because the purchasing capacity will increase. The people will spend the money. Unless the spending power increases, how the GDP will go high? So therefore, the country will also go will have better purchasing capacity, and thereby the country will prosper. Every single individual will prosper. So I see a great opportunity for the people.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Chanchal. Now, we have not talked about your firm at all in this interview, and I would really love you to discuss about your firm and where do you see, yourself and the growth of the law firm in next, let's say, 5 years down the line.
XpressLegal was formed in 2015 because my wife, before I started practicing as a full-time lawyer, she was individually practicing in the law from last 22 years. It was easy for me to join her in 2015 when I left the corporate world and decided to have the full-time law practice. And since then, now we have about 22 associates working for us. Currently, we have the office at Nariman Point. We have office in New Bombay, as well as we have office in Kandivali, the western suburb, and have the plan to add at least 20-30 offices by 2025. This is what we have the target, and we have a target to have 300 to 500 associates working with XpressLegal. Reason being that, Bharati, the most of the clients we have, they are the all India clients. If the Tata is working here in Mumbai, they are also in Calcutta, they are also in Bangalore, they are also in Delhi, they are also in Jaipur, they are also in Patna. I mean, almost all the cities that they are. If the Aditya Birla is here, they also have the branches, and they also require the advocates over there. If they are satisfied with us here in Mumbai, merely a simple reference will require. Suppose tomorrow I decide to open a branch in Delhi. So that we are just strengthening our system and the procedure. And if all goes well, by 2025, I have a target to have at least 300 to 500 associates working for the XpressLegal. This is what ambition that we are carrying along with us. And I don't see any reason that we will not be able to achieve it.
That's lovely. And even I cannot wait to, see that happen. At the same time, I wish you all the luck from LexTalk and from Clickaway Creators
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'm sure our viewers are going to watch this and they're going to send their blessings all the way. Now, last question. Sadly, we have come to an end of the conversation, but just before I let you go, how is the higher education of an advocate? It like helps clients to okay, let me actually rephrase the question. How do you think that the higher education of an advocate helps anybody, like any client, or how is it beneficial for other people?
The law field is something that you need to be keeping yourself updated every day, every minute with the things that is being changing in the law. And therefore, the higher education, when I say, is not just academic degrees per se. For that matter, you need to be continuously updating yourself with the kind of the changes in the law that is happening, the landmark judgment that has been passed by the High Court and the Supreme Court, because that itself becomes a law. So therefore, unless you keep yourself completely updated with the education, with the degrees, with the diplomas, with the continuous education, it would be difficult because you become outdated from the market. Now you see NCLT law is passed in 2016, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Now, unless you keep tap with everything that is happening, it's difficult for a lawyer to remain in the same era. Now the video conferencing has started, the virtual hearing has started. There are many advocates who are facing difficulty to even to cope up with such kind of a situation because they are not keeping themselves continuously updating their skill, their knowledge, the technology along with that. So what I mean to say, in my law firm, like I'm already about to get the PhD award. My wife is already enrolled for the PhD. Most of the advocates that have, most of them are holding the master's degree in the law, whether in the corporate law or in the labor law or in the constitutional law. So such kind of education always helps to a lawyer, to attain a higher level of, the degree of the knowledge and the experience, and blended with the experience, that always the client will be benefited out of that. This is what we believe. And therefore, we have always encouraged our associates also to keep updating themselves with the new laws that have been enacted by the Parliament or the Assembly for that matter. And we have been continuously doing so.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Choudhary, for sharing such great insights with us. When it comes to your, your firm, also about the complexity of the matters that you have, faced in the past, and everything, about the pandemic and the current scenarios. So it was lovely talking to you, and I really look forward to having a chat with you again on some other trending topics in the international legal industry. So thank you so much. Thank you. It was lovely.
Thank you again, and thanks to the LexTalk world again. And let's hope that the next time you organize a similar kind of a conference, I'll be the part of it.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Chanchal, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to Clickaway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do, and you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Chanchal Choudhary. This is Bharti for LexTalk signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.